Hello everyone. In previous lecture we had completed chapter 5 and today we are going to start a new chapter, chapter 6, and the name of this chapter is compaction and consolidation. This is the outline of this chapter. So first is compressibility. When a compressive load is applied to a soil mass, a decrease in its volume takes place. And the decrease in the volume of soil mass under stress is known as compression, and the property of soil mass pertaining to its susceptibility to decrease in volume under pressure is known as compressibility. And when the voids are filled with air alone, compression of soil occurs rapidly because air is compressible and can escape easily from the voids. But if the soil is saturated, that means all the voids of soil are filled with water. That means incompressible water. Decrease in volume or compression can take place when water is expelled out of the voids. Such a compression resulting from a long-term static load. And the total compressibility is associated with two methods, or divided into two categories. This is compaction and consolidation. So this is the compressibility, which is divided into compaction and consolidation. Again, consolidation divided into two types. This is primary and secondary. So let us discuss one by one. So first is compaction. So compaction is a process by which the soil particles are artificially rearranged and packed together into a closer state of contact by mechanical means in order to decrease the porosity of the soil and thus increase its dry density. And the compaction process may be accomplished by rolling, tamping or vibration, etc. And it is achieved through reduction of air void. This is the major point or important point you have to remember. And it is a rapid process. Also it is a artificial process. During compaction, air content reduces but not the water content. And it is not possible to compact saturated soil. It should be noted that higher the density of soil mass, stronger, stiffer, more durable will be the soil mass. And the figure shows this is the loose soil and compacted soil. Here it shows the solid water and air, but after compaction the water level is same, only whatever the air are present within the voids are decreased. This is the compacted soil. And objective of compaction. So main objectives are it increases density of the soil mass, also increases the strength characteristics, load bearing capacity of soil, and also it decreases the undesirable settlement of the soil, and it increases stability of slopes and embankments. Also the compaction decreases the permeability of soil. It reduces water seepage also. It reduces swelling and shrinkage of the soil mass. Also it reduces frost damage and reduces erosion damage, and it develops high negative pore pressure, increasing effective stress. So these are the main objective of compaction. And this is the soil compaction. This figure shows. Then there are some factors which affect the compaction. So the major factors are water content or moisture content, amount of compaction, method of compaction, type of soil, addition of admixtures. So these are the main factors which affect the compaction of soil. So now let us discuss one by one briefly. So first is water content or moisture content. So with increase in water content, compacted density increases up to a stage or up to a limit. Beyond that limit, which compacted density decreases. And the MDD or maximum dry density and the corresponding water content is called OMC. We achieve after compaction. And at lower water content than OMC, soil particles are held by the force that prevents the development of diffused double layer, leading to low interparticle repulsion. So here water repulses air in void space. Particles slide over each other easily, increasing lubrication, helping in dense packing. So after OMC is reached, air voids remain constant. Further increase in water increases the void space, thereby decreasing the dry density of the soil. So this is the effect of water content. Second is effect of amount of compaction. So the amount of compaction greatly affects the maximum dry density and optimum water content of a given soil. The effect of increasing the compactive energy results in an increase in the maximum dry density and decrease in OMC. But however, the increase in maximum dry density does not have a linear relationship with increase of compactive effort. Number 3, this is effect of method of compaction. So the density obtained during compaction for a given soil greatly depends upon the type of compaction or the manner in which the compactive effort is applied. So the various variables in this aspect are weight of compacting equipment, type of compaction, area of contact, time of exposure. Each of these approaches will yield different compactive effort. Further suitability of a particular method depends on type of soil. Number 4, effect of type of soil. Maximum density achieved depends on the type of soil, and the maximum dry density achieved corresponding to a given compactive energy largely depends upon the type of soil. But when well-graded coarse-grained soils attain a much higher density and lower optimum water contents than fine-grained soils, which require more water content for lubrication because of the greater specific surface. So this is the effect of type of soil. Number 5, effect of addition of admixture. The compaction properties or characteristics of a soil can be modified by a number of admixtures other than soil material. And these admixtures have special application in stabilized soil construction. So some example of the admixture are lime, fly ash, etc. So these are the main factors which affect the compaction of soil. Next is consolidation. So it is the process by which soil particles are packed more closely together under the application of static load, and this consolidation we can achieve through the gradual drainage of water from the soil pores, and it is a gradual process or a slow process. In some soils it takes many years to complete the consolidation process. The consolidation is strictly applicable for saturated soil or nearly saturated soil, and this consolidation process is a natural process, so that it takes more time, or it is a gradual process, as it is a natural process. Then the major difference between compaction and consolidation, it is the important question. So let us see what are the difference between compaction and consolidation. Compaction, reduction in volume takes place with the application of dynamic load or artificial load, but in case of consolidation, reduction in volume takes place with the application of static load. And in compaction, it takes place in partially saturated soil, but consolidation takes place in fully saturated soil. Compaction is a rapid process. On the other hand, consolidation is a gradually slow process. Compaction is an artificial process. On the other hand, consolidation is a natural process. And the compaction is achieved through the reduction of air voids only. And on the other hand, consolidation is achieved through gradual drainage of water from the soil pores. So, These are the basic difference between the compaction and consolidation. So for this lecture this much. In next lecture again we will discuss more about the compaction and consolidation. Thank you.